So these are the teams that. Come on, guys.
I'm not gonna pick teams today. No, I don't want to spoil your first game of the day. If you want me to pick, it will be at the end of today's match. Please don't do this to me.
Chu needs to find a way to pass the casters because on to Gideon.
Hey man, I got it the last time. I'm also pretty scared about this Caster's curse, alright? It's a legitimate fear.
It's actually quite true. I think he got the curse more than I do, but thanks to our observers here.
Yes, thank you, observers XCYRNNGEK, Topcast, as well as Zai for bringing the action to us on ground all the time throughout this league. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And Zai's, by the end of this tourney, a lot of these guys will be breaking into the 100 games observe mark. And when that happens, we're going to be congratulating them because that is a very big feat. Now, looking at the flight pattern here, seems pretty neutral, but it is towards the northern side of the map. Military base is kind of far away, as well as Novo and Malta Power. So we know that teams who like to go there, same as Bapa'a, as well as Bigatron, it's a lot further to get to, but we've seen them do it time and time again. They find a vehicle fast, they quickly go over to the drop zones that they like.
That's quite true, but question is, where will the first circle will be? Because sometimes they have to change their route, even though they have that kind of confirmed state of a territory. But everything down to where the circle will be, because some of the teams just happen to U-turn the last minute.
Yep, some teams. Oh, look!
What?
What is this? The circle is just unforgiving. I can't even see the bottom 10% of the circle. This is just absurd.
Which one of you did it? Which one of you kissed Matoy's hand to get this? I know one of you did it. Don't try and hide it from me.
I think it's you probably today. Don't hide it from us.
Honestly, I should have kissed Matoy's hand for another 90% land.
Probably true as well. But back to you, around shooting range. I don't think they will be contested. Same goes for those in Pachinki. And we're looking at FV today. FV as Naya. I think there are probably some couple of teams nearby as well.
Yeah, probably. But looking at what's for sure is that these two teams here, Impunity as well as Expert MY, they are in the same compound. But so far, both teams actually respecting each other's territory. Romeo probably in the middle of between two teams, but then again, that's his role as a scout. He's there to just hear out those footsteps, just to make sure that the perimeter is set.
Yeah, Jokable quite crowded at the moment. I think the next thing we will hear is a pre-shooting, and they will be engaging very soon. But up to this, Vinny, we know you do gank. Well, kind of surprised they go this far, quite segregated from the rest of the team. Some of them dropping by shooting range, while the others drop by Savini. So there's a two pair of Udugang kind of separated against each other. But at the same time, looking at Novo is very vacant here. I have a really big hunch that will either ended up on the bridge or will be on the south of military base here.
Absolutely agree, but kind of interesting if we do notice that last survivors, they kind of split up into groups of two, one dropping relatively near military base and moving and already taking their vehicles, as well as others dropping down quite near Malta section. I don't remember exactly where they dropped, but they have looted up and they are taking vehicles to rotate down to this island, so they will be able to gatekeep people from that bridge. And I think that's what they kind of want to do here. If they wait a little bit longer, Bapa'a will be heading up over to that bridge.
Yep, and we do see yesterday, based on the same map, Bapa'a did rotate from Milta Power at some point down to the military base, but just because there was BTR there, and of course if we do remember that the circle wasn't kind to them, it just indicates that, okay, that's probably their second spot normally that they will go after they took over Milta Power.
Yeah, luckily we don't have Bigatron and Net Brotherhood playing this round, because if not, I think the south of the Milan just now will be a chaotic, really chaos there. Both teams are not playing today from group, I think that was Group C.
Yeah, Group A. And
Group A.
That's what's really, really frustrating about this overall, because, like, the moment Bigatron isn't playing, the circle decides to be like, I want to be part of military base now.
The same goes for Nebra. They always drop by Sonovska, and we know Novo is so occupied with Bigatron, but so unlucky they are not playing today. I think they probably just bridge camp all the way if it happens like they're playing.
Speaking of bridge camping here, Geek Fam do have control over this side of the map, and again, bridge camping is going to be a very plausible strategy, especially considering that a lot of teams might have to play for inner circle this time around, because outer circle includes water, coastlines, and more water.
Yeah, it's a position that you don't want to be in, but looks like most of the teams will be outside the circle and they definitely need to cross the bridge unless someone decides to go catch a boat and come from the other side, which I think it's a decent strategy.
It was. You remember how Bapa did that before, kind of going into the boat and it just going in throughout the whole circle. But they need some full can as that happens because I don't think it's quite an easy to actually rotate from the north. But if they rotate from the south, it's quite possible actually.
Ooh, but then again, we just look at this. Looks like Kuza here is in trouble. Trix has his eyes on Kuza.
No.
Kuza will be knocked and now Trix will finish it off with the punch. With the punch? With the crouching punch?
No, he's gonna...
Oh, he's just messing. But then the rest of the team, the rest of the cavalry just arrive, but they just avoid the captain entirely because they know there's no way he can get out of it. The rest of the team just have to reposition themselves, playing with a little bit of slope here. They know and they want to re-engage. It seems like Evo's VIP want to get a little bit of sweet revenge.
I don't know how much revenge they're going to get out of this because remember that Razor is still a little further back here. The rest of the team is trying to play around the landscape, but I don't know. I don't feel like this is a good fight, especially for VIP because number one, they're not exactly super looted up. They don't have level 3 anything at that point in time. I doubt they have enough utility. I would rather them get a little bit more loot and then consider other teams, you know, dealing with the current situation and problems.
And that's quite true. They're trying to migrate into area of Novo to actually get the loot going. I thought there's nobody there based on the studies probably, but it was quite too late because we do know Bapa is kind of very near in around Milta. So like it or not, they have to cross or path. Their path will be crossed with Bapa Office.
Yep, absolutely agree with this. And we do see here more teams try to cross the Death Bridge. Dingoes will be the next one. But they're on a bike as well as a buggy. These are two vehicles that are very, very risky. And we do see Nuk here. He's leading the charge because the bike, as we know, although it's exposed, but it is the fastest vehicle possible. But lucky for them, there's no one actually camping at the bridge area.
Yeah. There you go. So we're looking at F1
Here we go again. Here we go again.
Yeah. There's the sound effect there.
She's just been practicing this.
She knows what she wants. When it comes to bridge camping, she's got all bases covered here.
But question, will they make a big row of barricade there, just making sure everybody is having a hard time to cross that bridge?
Maybe. I don't know. I think Dingo's got a little lucky because nobody was gatekeeping the western exit bridge coming out of military base there. So they will have first say on who's coming in and out of the bridge. They might actually consider barricading it and forcing people to go through the water. That would be very interesting to see, honestly.
I'm waiting to see that, but do they even have time to actually do that?
With a bike and buggy, not so much.
Yeah, they definitely need more than that. And now we go on to Team No Recall. They are still on the mainland, not getting themselves into the military base area yet. So it'll be quite a fight to see who actually reaches there first, because pretty sure gatekeeping will happen. Now the first circle will close in very, very soon. And Drax, our player for Yudugang.
Quite decent number there, even though they just played today, didn't play yesterday. I think they will spike up to almost 10k like yesterday as well for the other teams. If I'm not mistaken, it was Bapa and Secret Team that hit quite high in terms of numbers there.
I'm not sure if anybody has hit 10k specifically. I think we're
Not
going to have
really.
to check this out. Like, they got pretty close. Like, I think we saw like a good 6k and 8k as well.
8k, yeah, 7 point something, 7.8 if I'm not mistaken. But look at that circle. Everybody just have to squeeze themselves. There's a lot of skirmish they have to go through. Expert, on the other hand, already being tanking in the blue, but at the same time, the rest of the team Expert MY kind of got ambushed here by Team Impunity, who has been waiting there at the end of the bridge.
And looks like Impunity got their kill. They got what they wanted, but then again, Sane is on the other side. Sane is just behind that. Oh, looks like they managed to take down Sane at the same time. They need to get out of here really, really soon.
Expert going to be the first team to be knocked out here. They're going for a quick loot. They've got lots of stuff to go. However, they've got a very long journey to get down. Oh, the bridge camping has begun. Dingo is already taking shots at Axes right now, but the rest of the team needs to cover them. Nobody has gotten off, and they are on bikes, so they don't have a lot of cover to work with to begin.
And there goes this super bike just passed by, and that's super fast too. And They don't have any scope on them, just eye in sight to begin with. But FV are trying to avoid as much as they can. But Dingoes, that is not working well for them. They really need to put up a barricade.
Yes, they need that barricade. They didn't have that, and if I'm not mistaken, oh, looks like Kagura will be taken by the play zone. And at the same time, Afat from a distance, putting those shots in, just try to distance themselves from the action. Kido tries to get into position, and they will hold on to this fortress.
Oh, Baba are quite low there. They were being ambushed by the team. FV, on the other hand, try to cross there as well. How are they going to advance here, Baba? I have to take a longer route, going a little bit, playing at the cliff or the shores here. Not going to go straight into the line of sight of FV. If not, it'll be a disaster for the whole team.
Yeah, this is kind of awkward because it's almost like a tale of two towns here. But looking over at Nova here, last survivors are in position with also Team Bosku making a swim for it. A very risky play, but let's see how Bapa'a wants to go and assault FV. FV have sleep. He's a little bit dragging behind, but I think they should be able to get him out of there. Oh! He has 1 HP left, and it explodes. He doesn't make it out alive.
He knocks, and then the moment he knocks, it has to explode that time as well, straight away into a box there. And Bapa are trying to get for more. They're trying to advance. At the same time, they have another team. If I'm not mistaken, it was Still Hearts, and they are actually on their knees as well.
Yes, they're on their knees. The rest of them really need to get away from that action there. Not looking good for them. And now let's just look at Bapa really close with Steelheart here. Wedu looks like he will be left by his team, and all unfriends on social medias will come out from there.
This is brutal coming out from Bapa. They are really savaging for blood here, going for more, trying to find the rest of Steelhearts. Luckily, they made it out in the nick of time, but now they're going to rotate for more. They don't want to stay in bridge camping, but they can opt that one out if they want to.
Yeah, not to mention that they've been extremely aggressive with their plays. They bothered to rush FV there. FV had to give up their position. Surprisingly, I would have liked to see them actually take them on. I don't think they had close range weaponry, and that's why they made the call. But now Impunity on the other side of the western exit here of the bridge in trouble as Team No Recoil slowly cutting them down one by one. They trade the knockdowns for now, but again, position is in favor of Team No Recoil. Really nicely done. Impunity taking a lot of damage.
There was a beautiful spray hit with the one, that another just in the line of sight, and they are clumping on that as well. While Team No Recoil is trying to go in, that circle is really deceiving most of the players.
Yep.
Oh, and now not only the circle, looks like Insomnus will go in with a micro Uzi, and he managed to take one out. And now Insomnus will need to try and fight. Oh, he need to find cover right there because he's being shot at from a long distance.
Looks like Impunity is going to be knocked out for now. Yudugang is on the other side as well, but now Steelheart's not going to be able to breathe, falling into the hands of Resurgence, who will be knocking them out here. Oh, another team bites the dust.
Yeah, just have to wait in the lobby and rest it out for a bit. We have 13 teams left. Still Hearts, Lorenzo still have one more person to go, but where would he camp himself? At this rate, it's quite hard in a long journey. We know the circle ended up around the bridge of Novo instead of the one in the west. Quite hard to go through with so many teams already bridge camping there.
Yes, it will be very, very tricky because the area where everyone's expected to go, those routes, they're actually quite easy to scout out, to be spotted off. So it's not going to look good for these teams who are actually not in the circle at this point, but they will still need to make it there somewhere, somehow.
Oh, jumping back to the last survivor. Oh, Ichong, we know how good he is.
Those
I'm
grenades.
waiting for big plus by him, but back to you, do gang. Fredo and the rest of the team are trying to get into the safe zone as soon as they can, taking a little bit time here. A longer route there is, but we do know this side on the west side of the bridge kind of emptied out since the rest of the team already migrating to the Novus bridge just now.
Looks like Yudugang wants to play for outer circle here. They're going to delay themselves going into the safe zone. However, we're not entirely sure who is currently guarding that side of the eastern exit of this island of military base. ESG already there by military base, taking a couple of shots. He needs to take the dingoes out here if they want to stand a chance to win.
Oh, it's going to be... Oh, Bapa as well. They have the bridge covered there. Yudu will go in, but Looks like he managed to connect those shots, but then again, Manparang and Jumper, they're right in front. They're just behind the vehicle. And now Bud, he may go for it. Go for the oh my goodness. What just happened there? That explosion happened at the same time. And now we do see Drax trying to make a run for it, but then again, Drax has now been knocked down by Bud. Bud will need to go in for it. Jumper is going for the heal. How long can he? You need to do it really quickly.
Oh, now Bart trying to finish off and make a clean job out of that, but he tried to revive his friend. Knocked down straight away from Manparang. Now there's one more Jumper just next to him, just around the corner. He tried to make it out, but he's so hard for Bart to get position right. The rest of them just joined in. Jenny just rushed into that being the bait, but they have one more. Just Fredo at the back. How is Fredo getting out of this?
He's got to breathe right now. He's got to breathe. There's not a lot to work with. Does he go Papa? Go in for the rush. The Overwatch is coming in. It's a 1v1, but the Micro Uzi is going to be hella useful here as they take them out with 3 in the clip. Papa guard this bridge with their lives.
Beautiful teamwork by Papa just now, making so many baits, taking out from behind. There's also from the flanks. Jenny coming in, rushing in. There was a clean, nice job done by Papa. Wipe out Yudu gang at 13th place.
Oh, this could be the next wipe here, ladies and gentlemen. Dingoes here has their eyes, Noose has their eyes on the other side of RSG. I am Pro joining up with his team, and now looks like Noose decides to leave this area. You better do it quick before the rest of RSG come and find them.
They're taking their time here. They're not exactly, going for a hard engage like the, Papa who bothered to go in for a very, very aggressive rush so far. But it looks like Dingoes know that their scout is out of position from RSG. Iron Pro taking shots back. It's going to be a 1v1. However, Iron Pro does win that out with a better weaponry with the M4A1, probably with a lot of attachments because he is nailing all of those shots.
This is a mess right now. Look at how many teams trying to get this, but RSG still managed to clip one more for a GG. He go back into Prony's deck.
Oh my God!
What was that long shot across a map that was like literally thousands of miles away?
Whoa, I can definitely see the numbers going to go out here, but again, 4-2-0 will go in, try to take that kill, but again, everyone onto Insana is definitely an easy killer, but Insana still managed to get a knockdown.
Oh my God! That one nade to rule them all. That was nastily evil. How can you throw that nade at that distance and hit everybody else? But back to the game. Resurgence, small boy, they have been doing so great. Iron Pro is down, out into the lobby, but now back to his ESG versus Resurgence. The nades will be dropped very soon.
It's a 2v3 situation, but they will pick up Bravo here. So now it's going to be a 4v2 situation as RSG have taken 2 casualties. They're trying to hold on their own. They've got Overwatch in the back, but it's going to be tough as, Volky is super far away. Small boy can't really go for a push, and neither can he retreat. He's hiding in the smoke in hopes he gets somebody. Volky gets an initial knockdown onto Bravo. He was already 1 tick down. Let's see. Hopefully the grenade is going to be super effective here.
Yes, grenades need to be really effective here, but Volky with the long shots as well. He needs them to connect. Volky not connecting his shots at this point. Does he still want to be here, or he want to go for positioning? Oh, but looks like Pamburu is just in his line of sight. But thanks to the smoke, is still ESG is still hanging on to this.
Yeah, ESG, they are scoping him down. Resurgence, on the other hand, try to corner them on a different angles. You can see how they're trying to making sure that there's no way out for Team ESG, but kind of hard with the segregated by Small Boy. Even though he got a Micro Uzi straight away being knocked in the line of sight of ESG, and the rest of them are GG trying to go for more super line, trying to fire it out, giving more pressure on Volky, who's kind of have not many plays to play with.
Oh yes, not many places to play with indeed. He needs to retreat back into that small area, but now Palex looks like he'll be knocked as well from afar. And now Putra right in the middle of all the action. Everyone is closing, and this is circle number 4 going to circle number 5, ladies and gentlemen, and we will know in any second now how kind the circle will be.
Oh no!
Goodness me, this is just hard for especially Bossway coming out from EVOS there. They have still hearts in between. The last Ichong and the rest of team is there as well. Only 3 teams are actually inside of a circle.
Yeah, really, really tough here. I mean, you got to remember, Palex is already 1 down, but Team Bosco had to swim across the river to get here as well. So they aren't exactly in position to take a lot of teams out. They must be really, really tired after that. However, there's so many gatekeepers there as well as Evo's Axes making their way onto Bapa here, fighting in for center of the circle. Axes, Mappy, he does see them. He needs to take out Jenny because Bard is coming in on the left far flank. He's going to drop that grenade real soon. Nope, he decides not to. He notices Bard, takes a couple of shots at 6 and pulls on back.
With M416 with the red dot side only, he tried to get the nades on, but it's so hard. But look at that! Nice reaction time, but return damage by Jenny just at the back, being the bait just now. One of the team is, which is down. R6 really need the help there, but Oman on the other hand tried to flash in from the flank, and the rest will be history. Oh, Papa managed to pull the clutch. It's another down for Axis, but Chick just managed to use the first aid kit at the back there. They still have one more. Papa Bart trying to pull it out. Can he make it out alive? They wipe the whole team again. One more team play, but Papa are wiping one more team out of the map entirely.
Oh, there goes. Sent back to the lobby there. Ladies and gentlemen, that was such a close quarters, almost a clutch play there. And now Bapa hits a 10-kill mark out of that. They are doing really, really well here.
They've knocked out at least 3 squads. They've only suffered 1 casualty. This is going so well for Bapa. They've already knocked out the hardest competitions. And everybody else now taking a little bit of damage here. ESG butting their noses into a fight no one saw coming as Evos take 1 knockdown. Can they come back from this?
That pixel shot from beneath of a tire. They should pop the tires just now, but there you go. Easy kill, and Heikel really begging for somebody saving his life. But can VIP Razor make it out there because they popped the smoke just now? Oh, pixel shot again.
Oh, again, the pixel shot may come in, but then again, Heikel is no mercy onto him. Superland still need to continue to hide there because Superland has his eyes onto Razor. Razor has eyes on Superland. They may want to go for the revenge there. Superland decides to get away from here, get into the car, and let's go.
The Surgeon's going to be the next team to fall here as last survivors, trying to hold their position. However, Boss is coming out from the backside. Oh no, what? NSP is out of the smoke in the line of sight of the brother here, holding on to his position. He takes care of one, and now he sees Zix as well. He's taking pot shots at him, trying to get it through the car as Ichong. He knows where brother is. He needs to wait until he goes down, but he can't look away just in case he peeks. He takes a bit of damage, but still is able to survive and looking to revive his members.
The gatekeeping here, making sure that everybody in the blue stays in the blue, denying their movement, advancing to the middle of the circle. While Bapa is having the strongest forces they have right now. They have the terrain, they have the position, and the rest of the team have to fight this really titan team. Bapa wiping one after another whoever walks into their vicinity.
Yep, it's very tight now. There are 4 teams left, 11 alive, ladies and gentlemen, and they are fairly spread out across the circle. It's 15 more seconds before they need to decide what they need to do, especially for Team FV here, because they're outside the circle together with the other teams. Last Survivor, they are looking right now.
Oh, but then Last Survivor have their eyes on FV on the other hand, quite in the pit. They are rushing in, but at the same time, they're taking the advantage for Bapa. FV return the damage by rotating, splitting the teams into half, and Bapa on the other hand try to nitpicking both teams, being super greedy for Jenny, the scout as well, giving information to the rest of the team. But look at that spray, beautiful one. The UAZ are being dropped out of the ESG. They have to only barricade by this UAZ, but not enough if no backup arrive very soon.
This is starting to look really difficult for ESG because the landscape is not favoring them. Bapa putting a lot of pressure on the last 3 teams here is between Bapa, FV, and ESG, but FV has already taken some casualties as well. ESG lose a member, Bapa losing a member right there with a knockdown. That's going to cost them some currency.
Yes, that's going to cost them a lot really, and now the circle still favors Bapa in totality, but then again ESG is not far away from the circle. FV, they are a little bit far away. They are in between both teams at this moment. They may want to let these 2 teams fight it out while they slowly, but looks like he will be knocked down by 6 there from the distance. It's only 1 team member left for FV.
But at the same time, ESG are exposing themselves too much for Bapa, which is not being center of attention at all. They are too focusing on FV for ESG, which is not really beneficial for them. Look at that, Bapa R6 already thrown the nade, cooking it up, and just now will the explosion hit anybody just yet? I don't think it's gonna hit anytime soon. The rest of ESG try to reposition themselves there, but got caught. Kido now he's down to top 2 teams. Bapa on the go with ESG.
Yep, last 2 teams teams here for the first winner chicken dinner of the day. First aid kit coming in from Bravo as Jenny will continue to look to nade their position. ESG playing with the landscape very, very nicely. Same goes for Bapa. It's going to be a siege battle. Who can land the most number of grenades?
Who can land the most number of grenades? Definitely that's one thing as well. And the loot just had to drop right in the middle of everybody. Definitely no one's going to go for it at this point. We do see here both teams waiting out of each other, but the circle will not wait for them. They have about 35 seconds before it closes in and they need to decide what to do.
Oh wait, Jenny is advancing from the flanks here. Pamburu might just get sighted by Jenny, and they have the advantage in terms of the terrain for ESG. Mbappa have to rotate another long way. If they go up on that small hill, they will get themselves exposed. The rest of ESG, Bravo and Pamburu trying to get down Bart here, but Jenny on the other hand trying to keep us the pressure. Look at that. Oh, they almost hit 6, but Pamburu is down first. There's only Bravos on their side. They can advance if they want for How and Super London, but kind of hesitating there.
Yeah, I would have really liked to see some form of Molotovs in their inventory here, but it looks like they've already used it now. Bravo throwing grenades back, trying to stop that push, getting an actual push, but they actually start pushing on through. Bapa is taking advantage of this. They are trying to make it through. It's a 2v1 situation. Brolon, he's got to make it all the way through. The micro Uzi is doing some work, but he's got to heal himself up as Jenny is on the far left flank. He knows this. He hears this. He needs 3 more seconds to pull this up. Jenny, he's hesitating a little. He's breathing with nervous laughter as he takes a couple of shots. The spray actually misses. He switches over to M4A1. Can he get him? No more in the clip. And yes, he does it. One more time. Congratulations to ESG.
First chicken dinner for